A bullied high school student finds his family's ancient scroll, which makes him irresistible to all the girls. We meet Rokudou while he is being bullied by some delinquents who throw his food at him, forcing him to catch it with his mouth. Linuma, one of the bullies, throws a sausage at him, but he misses it, and they all laugh at him. Because all his food was thrown at him, he returned to his seat, and his friends Masaru and Koda shared their food with him. They notice a delinquent girl named Tsubaki laughing out loud at that moment, so they look at her and notice her short skirt, and she becomes enraged because they are staring at her, and Linuma threatens to beat them up. The three go to Rokudou's house to relax, but Rokudou discovers he has received a package from his deceased grandfather. He notices a scroll inside, which states that if he ever finds himself in danger, he should use the scroll. Rokudou reveals to his friends that his grandfather died when he was young, so he doesn't know much about him, but he remembers his grandfather telling him that he will grow up to be loved by many people. He recalls that the scroll is a family treasure that is supposed to contain spells used by oracles in the past. Rokudou questions why the scroll is being given to him now because he believes he is not in danger, but Masaru thinks the school is a battleground, and he should use the scroll to defeat the bullies. The scroll begins to glow, and they notice a mark on Rokudou's forehead. The next day, we see Rokudou walking through the streets, convinced that he has just awakened some incredible powers. He is approached by a gang of delinquents who want to steal his money. He warns them not to mess with him because he has just reawakened his ancestors' powers. However, the bully strikes him. He collapses to the ground. The group threatens to beat him up, and the girl advises them to leave him alone. During their lunch break, the bullies approach Rokudou, asking what he has for lunch when Tsubaki tells them they should target Rokudou's friends instead, so they eat Koda and Masaru's food. At the same time, Rokudou notices Tsubaki staring at him. In the bathroom, they discuss how the girls have been assisting Rokudou recently, but they believe it is just a coincidence. Tsubaki unexpectedly knocks on the door, apologizing for everything she has done to Rokudou in the past, which surprises everyone. We see a blonde girl walking down the street and she notices a group of loud men. She approaches them and asks one of them if he is in charge, but they laugh, and he mocks our appearance. She hits him with her stick, which enrages his companions, who surround her and threaten to beat her up. Meanwhile, Rokudou and his friends are walking when Masaru notices the girls staring at Rokudou. He believes they all like him, and Rokudou wonders what is happening. Tsubaki arrives with Linuma, who questions him about what he did to Tsubaki. Rokudou claims he did nothing wrong, but Linuma is skeptical because he is now the background on Tsubaki's phone. Masaru tells Rokudou that the oracle's magic must have been confirmed and asks him to consider what his grandfather told him. He recalls his grandfather telling him that the oracle's spell would make bad girls like him, and when the bad girls approach him, he dashes away while running. He runs into the blonde girl, who notices the sign on his forehead right away, and we learn that she just beat up the gang that had surrounded her. Rokudou is shocked that the girl's hand is covered in blood as she appears to have fallen for him. The next day, the girl sits beside him in his class, and everyone wonders who she is. When one of the delinquents approaches her and asks for her name, she does not respond, which irritates him. He questions Rokudou about the girl wanting to know about her, so Rokudou approaches her, and she immediately responds, revealing her name is Rana and that this is her first day at that school since enrolling. Because he is annoyed that Rana is ignoring him, he punches Rokudou, but Rana grabs her table and slams it against him. He awakens in the hospital with no recollection of what happened, and Tsubaki reminds him of Rana, which makes him fearful. Rokudou is seen running away, revealing that he does not want to sit next to Rana because she is a monster. His friends run after him, pleading with him not to leave them, while Masaru tackles him to the ground, warning him that Rana is also in danger because Linuma's gang will retaliate. Rokudou believes that a nameless gang will be powerless to harm Rana, but Masaru warns him not to abandon the girl in danger. Rokudou doesn't understand girls because he has never interacted with one, so he thinks bad girls are mysterious because he believes women should walk behind men. Rana rises at that point, apologizing for her actions, and Rokudo realizes she only did it for his sake, for which he is grateful. He promises to protect Rana from the vengeful delinquents, and Rana holds his hand, knowing that Rokudo dislikes delinquents, so she offers to slaughter all of them, surprising Rokudo. Rokudo is surrounded by girls back at school, but they are all back off when Rana appears. She greets him, and they discuss his promise the day before for Rana not to fight back, even if she is provoked. And in the bathroom, he tells his friends that he regrets making that promise because he can't protect Rana, but his friends believe that his relationship with Rana will help them enjoy their high school lives. They leave the bathroom and are immediately confronted by Linuma, who threatens to beat Rokudo in the future. Rokudo's friends think he should ask Rana for help, so he goes to her and asks for a favor. But he sees her with bruises and learns that some delinquents attacked her, but Rana says they are all weaklings. She only got beat up because of the promise they made, which makes Rokudo question his manliness because Rana allowed herself to be beaten up to keep her promise while he was about to ask Rana to break it for his sake. Rokudo decides to deal with Linuma on his own, and goes to the rooftop to confront him. Linuma charges at him, but Rokudo lands a lucky punch that barely hurts Linuma. Rokudo realizes Linuma is serious when he strikes back. The others attempt to intervene but are too afraid of Linuma, who tells them they are powerless and should be thankful that they can survive at the bottom. Linuma is about to hit him again when he notices Rana watching the fight. Masaru reveals that they requested her assistance, but Linuma proceeds to beat up Rokudo, and Masaru begs Rana to assist him, but she refuses. Linuma does not want to continue, but Rokudo will not be defeated. When Rokudo unconsciously asks for assistance, Rana charges Linuma, who recalls being bullied as a child because he was too weak. Her punch knocks him down and sends him flying. Following that, we see Linuma lying on a hospital bed, convinced that Rokudo isn't weak because, despite being terrified of him, he is the last man standing. However, Rokudo continues to believe that he has lost because he sought Rana's assistance, and he begins to cry. Rokudo runs into Linuma the next day, and they spend time together at a ramen shop. Linuma introduces him to the middle schoolers beneath him. Rokudo realizes that one of them has previously beaten him up, so he feels pathetic for losing to a middle schooler. The man becomes agitated, but Rokudo does not report him to Linuma. They all eat at the same time. While Rokudo's friends are wondering if he is okay, they return home, and Linuma reveals that he wants to be Rokudo's friend, warning him that the school's top dog is after him. Rokudo is taken aback and falls to his knees, while a delinquent named Sasaki informs him that Osanada wishes to see him. Sasaki has heard that Rokudo is a playboy, so he grabs him and wonders if it's true. He denies it, but Sasaki's girlfriend defends him, telling him to stop and making him obsess. Linuma reappears, and Sasaki asks if he's there to assist Rokudo. Linuma asks Rokudo if he intends to fight Osanada, stating that he is there to support him if he does. Rokudo's friends emerge from hiding, advising him not to do anything crazy because they just want to enjoy their school lives. They don't wish for Rokudo to get into another fight, so they propose switching schools. But Rokudo reveals that he just had a great time with Linuma and has decided to stop running, claiming that he can make impossible things happen if he fights. His words move his friends, and they choose not to transfer schools. Sasaki tells them to return, but as Rana enters, the wall collapses, and they gather around Rokudo, telling Sasaki that Osanada can easily find Rokudo if he wants to. Back in their classroom, a girl walks toward Rokudo, and Linuma tells him that the girl is Osanada. He warns her that she will have to fight to get Rokudo. She notices the sign on Rokudo's forehead but doesn't appear to be affected by it, telling Rokudo that he's dead. She calls on her henchmen while Linuma stands in their way, but Osanada realizes that Rana. Osanada is disgusted because she dislikes relationships, and Rokudo believes the spell is ineffective on her. She wants to fight Rana, but Rokudo suggests they talk it over first. She punches him, but it does not affect him, so she invites Masaru over to test her strength and hits him, causing him to crash against the wall. She suspects Rokudo is strange, so she agrees to talk it over, bringing him to an old building in the school where he sees her room. We discovered that Osanada enjoys cute things, and she tells Rokudo that he is strange but cute. Rokudo believes the spell is working, making him feel guilty for manipulating her feelings, and he fears becoming Osanada's first love. In a flashback, we see Rokudo being beaten up, but a girl named Mi tells the bullies to stop and leaves him alone, and Rokudo walks home with Mio. He immediately falls in love with her, but a few years later, he sees her riding a bike with her delinquent boyfriend, which breaks his heart. Since the sweet and innocent Mio he loved became a delinquent, he has been scarred for life. Back in the present, he refuses to be Osanada's first love because he believes that being someone's first love should be a beautiful experience. Osanada admits that she is beginning to feel strange, but Rokudo thinks he must turn her into a good girl for the spell to stop working on her. However, that is the end of this video. Please let me know in the comments if you want to see more of this series. Remember to like and follow the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If this series is the most liked in my anime recap production, I will make a part 2. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to help me make more content.